Hello, hello, hello. Who have we got out there in the void of space tonight? Back with another huge update for space engineers. Let's see. And I'm joined by Marek and Aaron. Welcome, guys.
Hello.
Let's just test that audio. Can we hear you loud and clear? Let's see. Hey, Marek.
Hi everyone. Hi Joel. Hi Aaron.
Hello.
Wow. Can you believe it? Another major Space Engineers update, Aaron. This has been a long time cooking. We've got special guests on today. We're going to get into the trailer pretty soon, but yeah, this has been a big build-up, I know for sure.
Exactly. So this is a real big update for Space Engineers' economy. And it's been quite a while since we had an economy update. And this is going to add some real nice quality of life improvements as well as some new features as well. So Marek, can you give us a little bit of a feeling towards this update?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. There's been actually many years since we released the first economy update. So, it's good timing. And for me, the main thing for Economy 2 update is that it improves the overall game loop, and it gives players more meaningful progression, more objectives to achieve, and more reasons to use ships and bases they build. So it's not just about trading; it's also about the overall game loop. And I think this is very important for me because, again, it simply gives you more reasons to play.
Of course. So we're going to do just a quick overview, and then we're going to jump into this trailer so we don't keep you waiting too long. So are you ready, Joel? We'll just do a quick few bullet points of some of the features that they're going to expect.
Well, take it away, Aaron. Take it away.
Yeah, so of course. So one of the big parts of this update is the new services terminal, where you're able to store, repair, and salvage grids. Now, the service terminal is also able to be placed by players, so they can place that out there at their own base and store grids. And this is massive for you guys out there because this means that you can now store them grids that are cluttering up your base and causing you some performance issues, or you can even store players grids that are no longer playing or doing whatever there as well. So we've also revamped the economy system like we mentioned. We've got new contracts, faction improvements, stations, and we've got these new animated characters that will be wandering around your stations. A little bit of an immersion upgrade.
That's huge.
That's massive in its own. So
yeah.
I'll just say again that not NPCs, these are animated characters. These are just guys that are wandering around the station to add to your immersion. What you might do with them or how you might mod them, then that'll be up to you.
Amazing. And to say, we're definitely going to go into more details of all these things. So we're going to have the blog post shortly and, I say, special guests who will go into more detail on their amazing work that's gone into this. And I think it's always a good thing to get to, Aaron, as a shout out to the team that made this possible, right? This is another huge undertaking. And I just want to just touch on the fact, I know Marek wants to touch on the fact, so I'll actually give it to Marek, about how this, the development of Space Engineers 1 and 2 continues together. So I don't know, Marek, if you want to just add to that as well and shout out our team, our great team.
Yep. So we have two teams. One for SE1, one for SE2. They're very independent. Each has their own leadership, their own roadmap, and they just keep on going on each of their games. And I think we are quite unusual because there are probably not many game development studios that would be developing two games, at the same time. I mean, with the same name.
The same name, yeah.
Yeah, but I wanted to work on SE2, so we started to work on SE2 a few years ago. But I also want to keep us developing SE1, so that's basically how it happens, and I think it's interesting, and also we can learn from each other. So what comes to SE1, we can learn from it for SE2 and vice versa. I think the station characters or station engineers, I think the team got inspired probably by our work on the NPCs for SE2. I mean, not that they wouldn't do it, but they saw us working on NPCs, so they probably got a little bit more inspired, and vice versa. And for example, the storage feature that we are releasing today, originally we actually called it for many years Grid Garage. So that's why in my mind it's still Grid Garage, and I think it's an amazing feature. And honestly, I don't understand why we are releasing it, so late after basically 13 years of existing, because I think it's really very useful and very useful feature, and actually expanding the capabilities in so many ways. And there are many other things in this update. I think it's really like a major update.
Now, quickly talking about what you said there, Marek, as well, is this is obviously not the end of Space Engineers 1 development. We still have updates to come as well to look forward to.
Even
so
more.
stay tuned. Yes, stay tuned for even more, because I saw some people talking about it in the chat. There is even more to come. So keep providing your feedback, keep giving us them bug reports, and keep this game, alive and growing. It's incredible. I was saying earlier, there's not another game like Space Engineers that's continued its development, and its community has backed it and supported it as well as you guys have done. But we shouldn't keep them waiting too much longer, I don't think.
I mean, we were talking about it though just before the stream. We talk about it all the time, but the fact that so many players, there's so many passionate people still playing Space Engineers. Space Engineers 1, now into its 13th year, and it's just amazing to see. And you guys make it happen. Honestly, it's the best community out there for sure.
Hands down.
But also the best developers for this game. Like without the team, it wouldn't be really possible.
There you go, match made in heaven right there. That's it. Great team, great community, and we're still going, still cooking. I was just thinking as well, there was a point I had as well about, Aaron, there was ever some important announcements I think we had today.
Yeah,
just a few more, right?
So yeah, we've only got one really important announcement, and that is our video competition is still going, and it's all focused around mechanical blocks such as pistons, rotors, and hinges. Of course, Space Engineers 2, it's all about pistons and rotors, and for Space Engineers 1, it's all three of them. So get your videos uploaded to YouTube and submit them, and of course, there is a bonus category for a battery recharge system as well. That's something where you can implement it. Have a read of the full details available on our website and get entering. We've had a few entries already, but as the competition comes to the end, I'm expecting a ton more. And I've already touched on the feedback and support, and make sure you head over to our feedback and support site where you can give us your feedback. And I'm monitoring the SE2 stuff. We've got a team dedicated to monitor the SE1 stuff as well. So we've got it on. We've got it locked down. So get your feedback in and get upvoting other people's points as well. So they're the main things I want to mention.
Amazing. And I say, just to expand a little bit on the fact that this update obviously has been a long time in the making, both in like an actual development sense, but also like I'd say in the hearts and minds in some ways of engineers and developers. Like there's features in this update that the teams wanted to make for a long time and get to making. And I know some of these features are things that players have been asking for many years. So it's really exciting that today is that day, May 4th.
Of course. And these DLCs are a great way to help support Space Engineers' continued development as well. So we appreciate that so much. So thank you for that.
Well, perfect. I think, Marek, is there anything else you'd love to talk to the community about today before we drop the trailer here?
Yeah. So as you mentioned, we don't have any plans to end the development of SE1. I would put it this way. So we are going, and our current commitment is three updates per year, 3 major updates. So, and this is the first one for this year. And so there will be 2 more. And one last thing, can I talk about the gift that is inside? I think yes, because it's probably in the blog post. So for the players who have Space Engineers 2, there is little Almagest engineer plushie in Space Engineers 1 unlocked with this release. So again, if you also like Space Engineers 2, you will find your little gift in Space Engineers 1. So please enjoy.
Of course, they're always after another plushie, aren't they, to add to the collection?
Amazing. Little surprise there. And I also see right now, guys, in the chat, just people talking about the number of hours they have in SC. So as we drop this trailer now, let us know. Let's see everyone in the chat. Let us know how many hours have you played as Space Engineers. I'm seeing some of 200. I'm seeing some of 2,000. So honestly, it is always amazing to see the amount of hours you guys have put into this game and its community. It's honestly incredible. Look at that. The chat is exploding. 4,000.
Wow, there's some big hours in there, isn't there?
Yeah.
That's a lot of shipbuilding.
What are you at,
surviving?
I'm about 7,000 hours.
Well, I'm split between some Steam accounts now, so I think I must be around 8,000 hours. Wow. I'll have to double check, but it's been a lot of time. And I remember a lot of it's just been focused on building in creative. and then trying to survive as well.
That's someone the other day messaged me that they had 20,000 hours in Space Engineers. Like they
Wow,
messaged me and said, hey Zark, I just wanted to say, hey, I just reached 20,000. I'm like, how is that even possible? So keep on playing, guys. 20K is the max.
Yeah.
Perfect. So what do you say, guys? We roll the clip? Ready?
Yes.
All right. Let's go for it then. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. And there we have it. Whoa. What a trailer, am I right? Incredible, guys. And we're back. I hit win.
Wow. That was amazing. That was an incredible trailer.
Good.
It was beautiful.
I know, it's so good. Massive
icing on
shout
the
out to
cake.
Janusz for the trailer as always. Huge
And
trailer.
that being said, we are going to have Janusz on sometime in the future to do some building with us. So stay tuned for that on another live stream in the future.
Say, huge trailer for a huge update. I'm actually going to pull up the end screen again here so we can go over some of those amazing new mechanics and blocks that have been added in today's update. And I think next up, I think we're good to release. Are we going to hand it over to Marek to do the honors?
Of course.
Okay, so unleash to release.
There it is.
You know, the big button has been pressed.
It is being unleashed as we speak. And the update should be going live, as well as the Economy 2-pack. And we're also, the blog post should also be posted shortly here. But what did you guys think? Like, give me some, hype out of 10. Let's see it.
Oh, I saw some excitement in that
I saw
chat.
some excitement, and for sure.
So is there any further comments from Marek? Because we'll swap Marek out for Ryan. So Ryan can come on and tell us a little bit about this update as well.
Yeah, just enjoy.
What a lovely finish.
That's it. Get stuck in, guys, and enjoy this incredible update. Thank you so much, Marek, for joining us today. I know the community will see you very shortly. No doubt. Thank you so much, man.
Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.
Right, okay. Well, we've got some exciting things to look at once Ryan gets on board here.
All right, let me just grab Ryan.
Okay, he's on his way in. He's just in the airlock now.
He's in the airlock. He's coming on in.
Yeah, there we go. Right, it's through the airlock, and it's depressurizing around him. Perfect.
And there he
he's stuck.
is.
Oh, I thought he was stuck in the airlock then. We're okay. We didn't have a malfunction at the airlock.
Welcome.
Hey guys.
The day has come.
Thank you.
Economy 2. Can you believe it? You've made it, Ryan.
I can't. It's been a long time coming, and just watching everybody's reactions, I got goosebumps during that trailer. I'm just stoked. This is a great day.
Honestly, magical. And I say I think, let me just see here. I'm just going to pull up your volume a little bit as well, Mr. Ryan.
Yeah, you can see the energy and excitement of Ryan there. I mean, he's absolutely immersed himself in the development of this, and he's been loving every minute of it. Of course, there's been stressful times, but seeing that look on your guys' face, when we boot this update, you check out them new blocks, it's going to be incredible. Are you ready for some questions as well, Ryan? You've got some additional
Oh yeah, absolutely. I was just gonna say, the hype is electric, man. I've literally read every single YouTube comment on all the preview videos from all of our YouTubers that were collaborating with us. Every single one. Every day I'll go start my day just seeing it. Are we hitting the right marks? Are we getting what they want? And I'm so thrilled to share this with you guys because I know you've been waiting and I know you're excited about this.
I mean, just talking about the timeline, how long has this update been cooking?
Well, I mean, to be totally honest, we knew we wanted to hit this at some point. So even all the way back at automatons, when we were making AI blocks, we started going, we're gonna modernize everything. We're gonna get to the point where all these different old pieces of content are up to date with one another. And so we've thought even all the way long back then that at some point we want to hit this. It just happens to be kind of the last one that we hit. So we went for cargo ships and unknown signals and random encounters. We got all those modernized, but in every single YouTube comment on those, it was always modernize the trade stations. We need trade stations, right? And so we knew we were going to hit this, and we started actually fully working on it almost a year ago. We started planning stuff out and thinking what is this going to look like? What features do we want? How are we going to hit it? So it's been a long time. It really got into full swing around November when Core Systems was out, and we've just been pushing ever since.
So that's like I was saying in the beginning. It's been on people's minds, I think, for nearly 3 years, maybe nearly. I lost track of time, but I think so. It's obviously we all want to. There's a lot of things we want to do, but we can't always get to it at the same time. So these last years have kind of built out each different area of the game, and this is kind of this is one of those. Honestly, one of the biggest game changers, I think. Every update's been a game changer, but I think maybe when it comes to the actual gameplay, I think you could argue this has the biggest impact. Would that be fair, Ryan? I don't know. It's hard to say.
I mean, I think it depends on your individual play style and how you engage with the game, but there's like, hands down, there's some of the biggest stuff we've done recently is in this update for sure.
Well, we're going to dive right on into it here. So let me just see. So I'm going to actually bring up the blog post as well as we go through this. 'Cause I know, go ahead, Aaron.
Oh, okay, well, I can start right up where you bring that up as well.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the sort of first question that we've got for you here, we've got some like sort of made questions up, guys, as well, so that we can kind of, direct where we're going with this little discussion while you guys are booting up and doing other stuff. So this is, what was the vision behind Economy 2? Let's fill the players in a little bit about what, why Economy 2 and what was the vision overall.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, like I was saying, like we wanted to make sure that this set of content and the systems is modernized like everything else has been. That like aesthetically and functionally, everything is up to like the same level, right? So our like what we did with all of our cargo ships and everything else, like those are. It's now. It doesn't. You don't walk onto a station and go like this feels like 2019, right? We wanted it to feel modern and new. And then in modernizing it, we wanted to make it just like more appealing for everybody to use and like. Just a compelling system for people to engage with. Like your players are always free to play however they want, but we wanted to make sure that like economy, when you have it enabled, is like compelling and enticing, and that you have a reason to go to a station. There's tools there that just kind of expand your tool belt, and there's no matter what you're doing, like you can stop and go, I can go this way or I can go that way, and that's trade stations, credits, or economy. It's valuable and it's something that you want to engage with.
Fantastic, because it's like you're probably going to comment on in a minute, is like it opens up another route to a degree, doesn't it, for the play style?
Yeah.
You have another play style, so maybe you could tell us a little bit about that change, how this could possibly change players, traditional way of playing Space Engineers if they wanted to.
Yeah. I mean, regardless, like either way, we want to keep it relevant, right? So like if you're an early game player and end game player, like there should be a point when you can go, that trade station is meaningful, right? Whether it's from new content, you log in for the day and go, what am I going to do today? And like you want to go run contracts, or you're trying to complete a project, you need resources, but you don't really want to go mine. Like you can still achieve those same goals. And then like at the same time, like the stations before were so like sort of like sterile, like you'd walk in, it's totally empty. It was kind of an old
Ghost
grid. It was empty, right? Yeah. And we wanted to make it feel like more alive. Since Contact, we've been adding like lore DLC or lore data pads, and so those data pads and things kind of flesh out the world a little bit more, so that you feel like it's a lived-in universe, right? And so like this is like a really good place where it should feel alive. You should be able to go to a store and feel like there's people there, there's a living, breathing universe somewhere alongside you as you're doing your gameplay. And so we really wanted to make sure that the economy feel like a staple of like civilization, that you're not just a guy on the frontier mining, that like this station has a name, it's got people in it, there's landmarks for you to visit and to explore. So really, and the other thing that's like a big pillar of this update was like we recognize that everybody plays differently, that there are different communities and sub-communities out there that want to play a particular way. And so we really wanted to make sure the modding support was up to par with what players wanted, which before this update, it was kind of a difficult thing to tackle. It's a complex system to begin with, but we wanted to make sure that it was wide open. So our lead programmer, Philip, went really in depth trying to make sure things like contracts are much more viable to mod, that we have better mod support just across the board for economy. So like that's one thing for me personally, I'm super excited that we were able to do, and like to see what players make of all the new mod API access. So
no, it's fantastic. It's fantastic. Just like you said, this is such a big update, and each one of them features we're going to dig into in the blog post. Have you got it ready to go through, Joel?
Yes,
we'll go
sir.
through
Let's do it.
Go through a little bit there as well. Because I know there is also some additional questions that Ryan wants to go through as well, but it might be helpful if we jump into the blog post and then we work our way through it as well.
Let me see. Here we go.
Because we're going to be covering things such as the service terminal, and we know we've got some questions around that already. We're going to be talking about how it all connects to the economy system. So as we go through, Ryan, tick these sort of ones off and make sure we get that sort of question answered.
Yeah. We'll kind of go through this, and there's a lot to go through, but we can definitely go over the key things here. So first up on the free content, we have the services terminal, grid storage, repair, and salvage. So take it away, Ryan.
Well, I mean, like Merrick was saying before we started, like it's something we've known we wanted to get for a very long time. It really came down to like what's a logical spot. It seems kind of like simple on the surface, but under the hood, it's a complicated thing to actually pull off. So we knew we wanted to do it for a very long time. And there's two main reasons why we're hoping to get it. Like one, obviously to help performance, uncluttered worlds. Like the game is 13 years old. We have, or almost 13 years old. We have lots of very active communities, lots of like people that wanted something like this. There's obviously like other mods and Torch plugins and stuff that had this, and we were just like, for the base game, this makes complete sense to add to the game, right? And then on top of that, like more than anything, we live in an age where like obviously you can't build whatever you want or your computer's going to explode. Like there needs to be some kind of limits, right? But we don't want you to stop being able to create without having to make a new world or give up what you've got. We want to make sure that like players have the ability to keep building and to continue creating. And so that was like the biggest driving force for it. And then on top of that, it's a fantastic avenue to like get players to trade stations and make them feel like meaningful spots with those other services, a reason to actually go to visit that place. So that, like all those combined, it was just kind of like a no-brainer that like it belonged in this update. No matter when economy fell in our modernization timeline, the services terminal was something that like really was going to kind of be a great thing for players regardless of economy, but like it makes so much sense on the trade stations to have.
Certainly. Oh, sorry, Joe. Go on.
No, I was going to say, no, it's super exciting. It's you know, I've been playing around with it, and it's can make a huge difference to the gameplay. Honestly, so such a powerful block now.
Yeah, so to quickly recap that block, what you can do is you can store your grids, you can repair your grids and salvage grids if it's on a trade station. If you build a block yourself at your base, you can use it as storage. And that block itself has a manual control mode, so you can precisely tell where you want to place that grid that you're spawning into it. And of course, this grid's going to have a lot of applications outside of this as well. I'm excited to see how players weaponize it. Will they spawn pre-built missiles that will then launch from this block out and strike targets? Will they use it, you know, at a trade station? They'll fly when they're, you know, they're in a battle, they'll station to evacuate a grid quickly and then take that grid back to the base and repair it. So it gives some real interesting dynamics, and I can't wait to see how players utilize it. And then we'll have to think about some proper ways, Ryan, won't we, have to, you know, to balance it as well in the future.
Oh, I'm sure there's not an update that releases where players don't surprise us with their ingenuity and what they do. So like, if people want to weaponize it and try to figure out what to do, like it's as long as you're having fun, man. And we'll see what options we can add if there's more things people want. But in general, like I think it's a very robust system that like allows you to kind of fine tune it however you want, and I think it's going to be really impactful for a lot of servers.
Of course, because the main thing with that grid storage is it allows you to free up your PCU. And there are so many bases I've seen online servers that look like car parks. So this means if you've got a faction and you're sharing that PCU, you can now go, right, okay, you park your stuff you're not playing at the minute, and your faction can use the ships it wants to use. So it's fantastic in that regard. It's going to make servers run really smoothly as well, who are not already using mods for grid storage.
Okay, so this is just going over the grid storage here. Unless you guys have anything to add on the grid storage front, else we can continue, because there is so much. I mean, I think every individual mechanic and block could have more to say about it. I think,
right.
I think what we can do is just try and give the kind of community a good look at the details, and I think then they can dive into the game, and I think a lot of it will make sense when they jump in. Obviously, we also have a guide as well, which will prove useful for learning these new systems as well here. So nice new videos as well.
So we do have a guide that's just gone up earlier today, where I've given you like a basic overview. There's also guides from all your favorite content creators as well out there. But we also wanted to just put one up on our channel so you've got a place to go. And it covers all the 3 main features and how to recover them grids. So you guys should have a good basis to go off there if you need to know how to work this block. But it is really self-explanatory as well. You can literally click on that block, read the menus, and you can get playing with it straight away.
Amazing. So coming down here, so this is just talk, and then here we have the screen as well. We can see the storage services. We can see nearby grids, and then the ability to either store them or retrieve them from storage. And there's so many details there in terms of that both players and server admins can customize, you know, the time it takes to retrieve, the max number of grids you can store. There's a lot of configuration to balance this feature as well when it comes to server owners. So that's also a big part of the storage services. So connected with the new services terminal, we also have grid repair. So maybe you want to talk a little bit about repair, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely like a big pain point in the game when you like, especially for me, even just like one stray bullet is like, oh man, where did it hit? And I got to go weld up the small spot, right? Like we know that players are very protective of their grids and they have a hard time repairing them. So we've been steadily adding features to help improve that, whether it's the projector showing damaged blocks, but now like we wanted to give a really a way to really alleviate the pain of like, I took a big artillery hit and like, how am I going to repair this, and like finding blocks to repair. And so we wanted to make a fast way to repair that also took some degree of resources in the form of credits, that like if you take your grid to the station, you can easily get a repair and then like patch up whatever bits are left. But like to take some of the angst away, I guess, from taking a shot, and being able to like kind of naturally go into like, I'm gonna risk a little bit more because the consequences aren't nearly as steep. It doesn't feel quite as bad, and that was really a big motivating factor for getting repair available.
So this kind of also gives a massive reason to have some space credits in your wallet, because before, you know, people don't really care about space credits, but now say you smashed up in a battle, you could head back to one of these trade stations, get your ship fixed up and head back out into battle rather than going through the painstaking process of repairing it yourself. So it means that, you know, you probably will be a little bit less I wouldn't say less caring, but you'd be less worried about getting into a fight if you know it can be repaired as well. But it doesn't repair directly from the blueprint, if I'm correct. It just repairs the blocks that are on the grid.
Right. It'll repair what's damaged on the grid. It'll do it very quickly. So we don't want to invalidate the fact that like there are great engineering challenges to building a welder, to building a ship that can build your grid. So like we don't want to, if we made it immediate print, I think that's a factor that needs to be considered, and we don't want to invalidate that. So I know there's been a lot of calls for that. As I said, I read all the YouTube comments. Like I know that's a thing that people are interested in, but we also need to make sure it's balanced within the rest of the game. So, and then coupled on top of that, like with that risk factor, like going back to storage, if you have a spare in storage, is not nearly as much of a hurt either, right? You can always build another thing, have it stored away, and say, well, I took a hit, but I'm okay. I'm not like out of the game right now.
I think this will really change the pace as well, because I think so many players, I'm the same. Like once you've spent a bunch of time building something, you're nervous sometimes to go and use that ship, because you're scared of that loss, or even the time it's going to take to recover and rebuild that ship. So I think this could also change the way. This is definitely going to change combat, I think, and I'd say encourage combat, but encourage a bit of bravery, I feel like, because you can kind of know that as long as you have the resources for it, of course, you know, you can actually go ahead and get it basically repaired much quicker now. So this will be this again. It's just one part of this update, but I really think it could change the people's approach to how they play this, especially in multiplayer.
See, I am seeing.
I agree.
I am seeing some comments here. So if someone shows up with a partially built grid, so that's basically scaffolding, and then they hit the repair system, will it repair for them?
Yeah, definitely. Like it'll as long as you put in, you know, at least the minimal amount of effort to get it going, and you have those resources, it will do it. Yeah. We just didn't want to do an instant print that like your grid is completely done, because it kind of invalidates the rest of that gameplay, and we want to make sure that that's protected.
So yeah, because that's some of the players that I'm seeing here. They were asking, can they haul like a partially built ship, that scaffolding, to the place, get it fixed up, and then get out into the action? So there you go, guys. There's gonna be so many ways of doing things now with this. It's going to be incredible, just from that one feature of grid repair alone. And there will be one thing I want to quickly comment on here, is there is some people struggling to purchase and get an error through Steam. The team are working on it at the moment to try and resolve that issue. I know that many people are able to buy it as well, so don't worry. We're looking to resolve that issue.
Because good heads up there. I'm just seeing as well. Yeah, how many people are already in and playing? I'm just curious. I see some people talking about don't try to. Yeah, just some advice being given in chat already. I see.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't give them too many ideas on how to weaponize it already. Like that's what I always do. I love to just try and figure out how can we turn this into the most deadly block. How can the service terminal become a deadly weapon?
Right,
But look, they'll all let's see. If they'll already be at it anyway, won't they? We can't.
Well, and like on the flip side of that, I think it's worth addressing. There's a lot of people who feel the opposite way, right? Like I think this is a common thing in our community where people want options and they want to play how they want. But like if you are like vehemently against like anti-teleporting stuff, or you want it to behave a certain way, that's why we gave so many options. We want to make sure that like you can tweak it and fine tune it however you want. And if you want to stay away from those kinds of interactions, then you can easily set up your world to kind of disincentivize the bad actors that are trying to do something that you don't want them to do. So it's really, once you start digging into it, like if you're worried about it, like take a look first and see how it's configured, because I think you should be able to be free to do a lot of really positive things with it and make it fit exactly how your community wants it to work.
Right. Should we talk salvage then? Should we talk salvage?
Grid salvage. Here it is.
Because I know people love to salvage things, but there's a few things we need to clear up here, and Ryan can definitely help us out. That is, you need to own the grid to be able to salvage it correctly, don't you?
Yes. Yeah. You have to be the majority owner at least, right? So you're not just going to take whatever you find. You have to kind of hack it and get it all set up first.
Because I know them space pirates are out there and listening in the chat. And they're like, right, let's start hauling things to stations and making some real money. So you could, but you'd have to somehow get over 50% of ownership of that grid before you manage to sell it off.
Yeah, definitely. I already saw somebody say like merge blocks are the new meta. And I'm like, whatever you do, man, as long as you have fun. But those pirates are definitely going to use it, I'm sure. Yeah. So like, yeah, we put a little bit of a safeguard in there just to make sure like you actually do own the grid. You're not just going to go salvage some random thing. And then it's also only giving you a small percentage. Like I think it's actually configured by default to only give you 10% of what the grid is actually worth. So it's really, really minimal, but it can still be very meaningful, especially in that early game when you're trying to get some startup credits. When you want to buy a ship, you can sell something to get something else. So it's really, we were looking at like players really want to be able to sell their grids, and it's a complicated thing under the hood to be able to just actually take a grid that's like an amorphous concept and say like, I'm going to sell. So this was a great way for us to at least accomplish that goal in some fashion, where the players can generate credits. They can take something they don't want, and instead of just scrapping it down or throwing it against the planet, whatever they're going to do to get rid of it, right? They have a way to turn it into something. Exactly. Yeah.
I know the server admins will really appreciate that, because the amount of time I and other people have been cleaning up servers, and they just found a ship out in space, and you ask what happened to it, and they just go, well, I sent it into the void, and it's still there like 3 or 4 days later, just flying out there. Take it to the station, dispose of it responsibly. We're encouraging recycling here, aren't we? Keeping a green server.
It's good for the environment and everything and all. So again, you guys see the screen here. There's another tab, the salvage services tab. And then you can generate the salvage quote, and then you can accept or reject the offer there as well.
There is one good thing to add as well. If you are particularly friendly to that faction, you do get, is it a buff of up to 20%, Ryan, if I'm correct?
Yeah, the amount that they will offer you will increase if you're friendly with them. So it's also like another reason to like get your reputation up and maintain positive relations with NPC factions.
Perfect.
This is nice that again that comes with a benefit of actually making the effort. And of course, we'll get into it, but of course there is your reputation will also slowly go down over time and kind of fade away if you don't engage with this faction. So it's another reason to stay engaged with these kind of friendly factions, to keep your reputation bonus and keep make as much profit as possible from your salvage.
And talking about that sort of bonus there, right? What are players going to keep their reputation high with a station or an outpost or whatnot?
Yeah, I'm sorry, you cut out a little bit. So how do they keep it high?
So how can they keep their reputation high? What sort of activities can they do?
So contracts are definitely the main thing. Contracts we've rebalanced contracts entirely to make sure that like the reputation reward you're getting is not an endless slog. Like it was very difficult before to really max out your reputation and maintain it. So we've upped the reputation rewards and made sure that they're proportional with all their contracts. So engagement contracts is far better now. And then like Joel was saying, we have a new world setting that will over time naturally reduce your reputation or set it back to default. So if you are a pirate and you've managed to make pirates incredibly friendly, you will lose notoriety over time. Or if you're completely friendly with someone and you've ignored them forever, it will decay over time, which is a configurable world setting. You can set that however you want. but really we just wanted to make Reputation feel meaningful and feel like not like a huge grind to get through, especially if there's multiple factions in your world you're trying to interact with. So that was all rebalanced, and in looking at that, we also looked at these perks like these to make sure that you're getting a benefit for really actually achieving that high level.
Perfect. Perfect. Oh, go on, sorry, John.
No, I was going to say no. Exactly. All of this it's been thought out so well. I say, and I just have to say again, props to Ryan and the team for just thinking of all these things that encourage to use the economy just as much as possible at the end of the day. So right now, Ryan, we're looking kind of over the revamped economy systems, and this is just the over. I think we can probably scroll up. I think we've covered this for the most part. Aaron, is there anything else?
Yeah. So as we scroll through this quickly, we can touch on it. The biggest part of this is the search bars, isn't it, Ryan? Really, like players can actually navigate these menus a lot more efficiently to get what they want. And they can also find which stations have their things in stock. I don't know if you want to quickly touch on just like how we've overhauled the menus and the actual systems that they're interacting with as players.
Yeah, I mean, so let's start with the item search, because I think that's a really, really powerful tool. We wanted to make it so that if you were in the middle of something, you're like, again, it's a tool in your tool belt. You're building your ship and you run out of steel plates or whatever you need, right? Whatever resource you might be looking for, that you're able to find somewhere that's distributing it. And not only that, but we wanted to make sure that player run stores, if you decide that like what you're going to do on this playthrough is I'm going to be a trader, and you build a store, that people can find that without you being online advertising, whatever it might be, right? That you are able to compete with those trade stations. So we added the item search function, and that is now able to like guide you towards places and be able to know what the best price is. And that's also tied right into exploration, where you will only see results from NPC stores that you've been to. So you're not just getting a huge list. You actually have to explore and put a little bit of effort in. But once you do, you're able to see remotely like what things are worth. So that's a huge UI interface that's been updated and added. And not only is it part of the store block, but the existing contracts menu has now been changed to like an economy overview menu, where you normally manage your contracts. You can also do item search and manage economy elements in there.
The item search was a big one. I saw the players when we were playing the trailer. Like, item search. it's a big deal.
Yeah.
We're getting into it right now. Actually, go ahead, Aaron.
Yeah. No, I was going to say it was hard to find items before, so they will be able to navigate that menu a lot more efficiently. And the other thing that we just briefly took on there is the player stores. That's incredible. Yes. There's so many layers to this. Like when we originally started this, the player stores was kind of at the back of my mind. The service terminal was first. But let's talk a little bit about player stores. I think we need to, and explain what they can now do.
Yeah, I mean, we really wanted to make sure that players could compete, and that's a really big part of it. So we even adjusted prices to the point where, like, if you want to undercut an NPC station, before it was really, really difficult, if not impossible, to really find a margin to actually compete in that market. And so aside from being able to guide players to your store with that search option, we made sure that like everything that's available is within a margin that you can say, I'm going to get in there and I'm going to undercut them. And on top of that, even more, a hugely desired feature that we knew we needed to add was hydrogen sales. So now players can sell oxygen and hydrogen from their own bases with the interface of the store block. So we can have actual gas stations and you can undercut them and incentivize people to come to you instead of them. And along with all the other items, hydrogen is
also a free market, you know?
You can look for it. Yeah, let's compete, right? Let's see who gets it. So yeah, that was a really big focus, was to make sure, like, what does it feel like as a player to engage with all these systems, and not just to buy and consume, but also to be a distributor yourself.
And I feel like that opens up new kind of almost careers within the game, as you said. Like, there's already many ways to play the game, and I think there's some people enjoy some elements more than others, and I think some players are just better at certain elements. But this is like a whole new. So you could be a trader, you could be a gas station guy, and that could be your little corner of the universe, you know.
I've even seen people talking about like, oh, go ahead.
Oh no, go on, Ryan.
I was gonna say, I've seen people already talk about like setting up a cafe, even now that there's food in the game, that they can set up a system to go buy food from them. Like, they have their little restaurant. Like, I can't wait to see what people do with this stuff.
Oh, so good.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot you can do here as well. You can have a think about the location of your store. Like, you know, if all the other stations are really far away from a certain spot, you could think about setting up a shop there. You could even, I don't want to give the idea. Maybe you could even set up some naughty trap shops where, you know, you lure them into a naughty trap. Would that be possible, Ryan? Or would that I mean, yes, you get low reviews on your store. You get some bad reviews on your store, but
pirates are gonna pirate, dude. However they lure you in, like there's anglerfish out there, right? Like
what we're saying is, look out for suspicious pricing. If it's too
good to be true, it normally is. Yeah.
Oh, they're rogue traders. That's what.
There's some great chats and comments in the chat. We got a cafe, food trucks, gas station to farm, McDonald's enterprise. There you go. So many new ideas. I love it. So yeah, just looking, of course, over the item search. I'm not sure if because we're just a little bit between the two different points there. Was there anything, Ryan, you wanted to add about item search? Or do you think we covered it already?
No, I think that's it.
It's pretty straightforward.
I think it's all good. Yeah. I mean, it'll guide you to where you need to go, and like we're really happy that it's incorporated in the player aspect as well as it is. It's been pretty fun to even just play test with. So
there you go. So we've also, of course, coming back to some of the OG economy blocks and features. So we're talking now about store block improvements and the economy mod API. Take it away, Mr. Ryan.
I mean, it's kind of what we've already covered, like the hydrogen sales, like we kind of already touched on a lot of it. But yeah, the store block improvements, like significant, I think. That's just going to be in itself a huge game changer for trade networks and player trading. I think that's going to be a big deal. And then the API, again, is like one of the biggest things that we knew we wanted to hit. It was definitely like on our list of priorities and our pillars of what this update should mean and be. We knew that we had to address that like there are so many different communities, and I'm always so impressed by the some really big ones that are like role playing as certain things or have servers that are set up completely custom. And we didn't want to negate anything that they could do. We want to make sure that they're empowered, that they can build economy systems and adjust it however they want to. They can have their custom trade networks. They can have their special progression through economy. However they want to set it up, they should have the tools to do it. 100%. So I encourage everybody, if you're a modder or community admin and you have custom setups like that, check it out, because this is so much better than it was in the past. Again, shout out to Philip, because I think that it was a huge undertaking, but we got a lot of really good things.
Shout out Philip. Yeah, it's so good. And I know the modders are going to dive right into this and see what's possible. No doubt about it. Okay, we're getting through this, guys. So, contracts. We have contracts now. So some updates on contracts.
Yeah.
And some new contracts, some very cool contracts.
And Ryan's actually got some really good questions in this area here as well. So I think we should start with
go ahead. Yeah, let me know.
Philosophy behind redesigning contracts. Let's start there.
Yeah, I mean, it really can connect to the rest of the game in a really strong way. Like exploration is a huge part of the game, right? As you build your ship, you need something to do, somewhere to go, and we've added tie-ins to the actual existing exploration systems. So if you are being a pirate, you're stealing a cargo ship, right? There might be an item in there now that as you pick it up, it will guide you somewhere else. Like it'll have you deliver it to another trade station and kind of nudge you in a direction that like you might not have gone over there. You might not have gone down to the surface of Pertam, but now you have this thing that if you go deliver it, you're going to make money, and you're also finding yourself in a new area, and kind of just like keeping players moving and keeping them engaged with the world and the infrastructure that exists within it. And then on top of it, like, not just always waiting for something naturally to spawn on you, right? Like we want good, meaningful PvE content, and also like if you're bored and you say I logged in, I want something to do today, and you just like choose a salvage contract. Like let's spawn something for you to go check out, see what's built in the ground. Maybe it's something you want to save and you want to keep for yourself. You mine it all out instead of grinding it down. However you want to play. We wanted players to be guided towards different things and not just like waiting for something to pop up or oh, now the Factorum's ready, I'll go to that. Like if you're ready to go, there's something in a trade station that will get you going and get you moving.
Perfect. I think that really covers that question. You know, why the need for redesign there?
Yeah. I think another one too is kind of like the PvE content and the combat. Like that seemed to be a really big buzz for a lot of the community. Yeah. And like I think the bounty contracts that we've added, the PvE bounties, now is like another like sort of mid game. Like you're not ready to go take on the Factorum. That's a big commitment, but you will go attack some pirate, or if you're a pirate yourself, go attack the military. Like whatever you're gonna do, right? The combat in that I think was a really needed part for the game. which is really, really fun to see. And of course, all these grids were built by the master crafter Airgat. So there's some really cool things to find and explore and see.
Master Crafter, I like that. I like that title. Just a quick tangent here. I see you guys are hammering the buy button on the pack so much. I've seen a few people report that. We're seeing error messages saying experiencing a high volume of purchase requests and it could not be completed, your purchase. So sit tight. I know a couple of people are finally getting their purchases through, but it seems like, Steam is overwhelmed with the demand for Economy 2
So just to check in, it is on Steam and it is on Steam's end this, so hopefully they'll have it sorted and you'll be able to get your DLC. Yeah. But of course, it is extremely popular, this one.
However that shapes out, I gotta say thank you, because again, like Merrick was saying, the reason we're able to keep doing big updates like this is because of you guys supporting us, and like we really, really appreciate it, because we would not be able to push the game into these new frontiers without you. So thank you.
Of course, it's unprecedented, isn't it? Like most games now drop support after 6 months, and we're the team here still supporting 13 years. We of course with your help, and these DLCs help that team keep at work. You know, giving you exactly what you want, listening to your feedback, and delivering these beautiful updates. So just going on from that, talking about rewards, let's talk about some of the changes to the contract rewards that we've got, Ryan.
Yeah, I mean, we definitely wanted to increase the reputation. Like the reputation part was a big, a big adjustment. Like that was a huge factor. We also wanted to make sure that there's like risk and reward versus different things. If you choose a fighting contract versus one where you're like hauling, which is another thing we should probably touch on too. It's the logistics of all those things. But we wanted to make sure that it felt worth it, that you're engaging in something that actually is rewarding you. And then on top of it, like there's a little bit of a progression. Like if you can now be like locked out of certain contracts, or like the high tier ones if your reputation's a little bit lower. So as you kind of build things up, you're going to get better rewards and better for both credits and for reputation. So there's a little bit more going on there, but in general, we wanted it to feel a lot more casual, a lot more fun, and like engaging with it shouldn't feel like a big slog. And that was a huge focus. So the reputations have been kind of rebalanced and increased and buffed across the board.
Okay, beautiful. Now, I think, Joel, if we can quickly just cover the contracts that they're going to be experiencing here as well, since we're in that section.
So I can just read out some of the contracts that we have here. So just first up, that escort contracts have been removed, but their role is now replaced by more interesting and engaging alternatives. And those include courier contracts, search contracts, PvE bounty contracts, hauling contracts, salvage contracts, item recovery contracts, and grid recovery contracts. So there's a lot of new contracts there, and I say with one being retired, just because I think it's kind of replaced by these new ones, right, Ryan?
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit problematic. We definitely saw in players like engagement numbers and just like their reports back that it just wasn't fun, and like that's totally fine. So it got yeeted, which is totally fine. We've replaced it with the PvE bounty contracts, which are a lot more interesting to engage with, a lot more fun for that mid-game combat. And then we've adjusted like all the other existing ones. So like even the courier contract was the previous hauling contract. It's the little package that you get that you can take to another station and be a delivery man. Like that was reworked a little bit. So now there's risk factors involved in it. You might get jumped by pirates if you're trying to do that. So you can look at that in the contract as you kind of look like this might be a sketchy one, and then choose if you want to opt in to do that or not. And then the hauling contract itself is another like really big one with similar factors, but what we really wanted to make it so that if you take a contract, it's not just like every grid can do everything. That if you need a freighter, you need something that's got like a good logistics network or whatever you're going to do, like be able to jump across the map, however it's going to go, like these heavy containers or these light containers, if you choose to do it that way, that you have a grid that can actually do it. And so that's a really, really cool one where even you might want to have a team with you, like where I'm hauling the big thing and the other guys are flying escorts. Like I think there's some gameplay there that might just kind of show up as you're playing and engaging with multiplayer specifically. But that's the main goal behind that was to give players something to build, like build your big freighter, build your big jump ship. And then similarly with like the salvage contracts, you can easily do them with a hand grinder, but you might also want to show up with a grinding ship. Sometimes you'll be surprised to what you might find. Some things might need a little bit of excavation. Some things might be a lot bigger than you thought they were going to be. And so there's lots of different benefits to having grids that are ready or suited for the job.
Exactly. Like you might even want to think about how you're securing that cargo container, because if you just secure it
Right.
with one landing gear and your landing gear gets shot off, then you're going to be playing chase that container. So yeah,
Exactly.
you're going to have to engineer some solutions, not just to be able to hold that container, to ship it, how to cover it and escort it, just like you said there, Ryan. But yeah, that's a lovely layer to the gameplay experience. But we'll keep going through 'em.
And then, of course, the item recovery contract is like I was saying, you might find a special item on a grid now that will direct you somewhere else. And the grid recovery is similar, but in the fact that you might come across a derelict ship, and it's actually something that the trade faction has called out, saying, "Hey, this grid went missing." And as you approach it, you'll get a ping saying, like, "This can be delivered over there for credits." So if you find a grid lost in space and you manage to pick it up and move it to where it's supposed to go, or return it to its rightful owner, you'll get rewarded for that as well.
Perfect.
And you'll see some of these items as well in a little bit further down on the page, I think. I know it's in the end screen, but let's have a look. So, also, the faction improvements. And I think, you know, we've definitely covered some of these points as we've talked about the other features, right? Including the reputation decay and everything else. But I just wanted... Is there anything else, Ryan, that you would like to bring attention to on faction improvements that we might not have covered? Unless you had a question as well related to that, Aaron.
On the time zone of everything, it'd be perfect for Ryan to have a wrap up point of, give him an overview. That'd be
overview
perfect.
of faction improvements. That sounds good. That sounds great.
I mean, just across the board, we wanted to make them feel meaningful and make it feel like they're living, breathing things in your universe. And so between reputation, the names on the stations, the NPCs walking around them, like, we just really wanted to make it feel like they exist for a reason. And then on top of it, with the reputation decay, that like you have a reason to keep going back, and that like maintaining those relationships is important to your gameplay. So that's overall like lots of little tweaks, but like in general, what you should walk away with is feeling like things are more alive and that you have more connection with these things, and other than just like there's a station over there and it can sit over there.
So just quickly to touch on that, the best thing you can do is when you spawn in is try and find one of these stations if you want to access this stuff, and then go to the new billboards that you'll see. Click on the billboards or press F and it'll tell you the GPSs of other stations, so then you can start to coordinate on which ones to head out to. So that would be my recommendation if you want to engage with this as quick as possible, but you will have to be patient to start with, because these stations do need to spawn in, don't they, Ryan? And they need to work out where they're going to be.
They actually like spawned like immediately on world generation, so they know where it knows where it is. So it's a matter of you getting to that station. We really did try to take a look at like how difficult is it to find a station, and before it was like I just bought data pads from a store, right? And so we adjusted a lot of little things to try to make it easier, and like for whether it's a contract guiding you to that station or the station has an advertisement that's telling you there's another one over here, like it should be significantly easier to find what's out in the world. So that was a big change. Yeah,
because I was surprised when I was using the admin menu, it was almost like the stations were hidden off the entity list until I found the first one. So it was a bit harder to find them through cheating on the admin menu. So I had to go to find them. So that if you do experience that, maybe you'll have to find the first one.
It's a bit of a performance trick, because if nobody's in the area, then they will unload, so that we don't need to sim a grid or have NPCs walking around if you don't need it, right? So if nobody's around, then they won't physically be there. But they're always running in the background, like as things update, as new listings come, that doesn't stop them from actually being live or updated.
Very cool.
Oh, we see some nice new blocks as well there. There we go. Ooh, in all these images. So, and talking about nice new blocks, we have some new stations and ship prefabs. 17 to be precise. Tell us more, Ryan.
That's a lot.
So this is a great thing that I think just like makes adds a little bit more flavor to the world in general, where like stations can also be customized between factions. So as you travel to a pirate station, it will be noticeably different than another station. It's going to be a little more rundown, a little more sketchy, probably a little more character in that actual station, which we also opened up for modding even as well. So like you can make station names for these. You can make your own prefabs if you want custom stations for however you want to organize these. But yeah, we really tried to make sure that they felt really interesting and cool. And again, like the ship ones are phenomenal. Like it was in the trailer. I think it's 43, I think is what we got to, somewhere around there. There are brand new ships in all of the markets, and every station now sells ships, regardless if they're a builder faction or whatever. And you'll find appropriate things. You go to a military station, you're going to find something that can shoot. You go to a pirate station, you're going to find a little pirate thing that you can take over. So however you explore, like you're going to end up with all these cool things. But our goal with these was to really allow players. I think there's a lot of players who either get overwhelmed or don't know where to start, right? That starting point is always such a difficult part for a lot of us. We're like, well, I'm going to put my first block down. It's probably half the battle, and figure out how you're going to lay it out. And there's plenty of people who say, I can only build bricks, right? And like, there are plenty of people who feel that way, and that's totally fine. We want to give you a starting point where you can customize and expand and take inspiration. And so the grids they're a major part of this update. And Ergath poured a lot of time and effort to make sure that they were just right for this. And so, like, another shout out to him. These are from the stations to these grids. They feel so much better than they used to. But we hope that you can buy those ships, that you get inspired by them, and that you can customize them and make them your own. Like, that was something we saw with some of the older freighters, that people are still using them to this day, even if they're from 2019, that they've made them their own and had this great adventure with a ship that started out as something from a station. So we wanted to make that available for pretty much everything, that they're great starting points for customization. You can really take ownership over them.
And just look at this stunning image as well with the new, I'm going to pronounce it right, vivarium. Is that right? Yeah, vivariums. There it is.
Yeah, if you want a tree in space,
Exactly.
You know, when we did the teaser for this, people went wild about this. They loved it. To be honest, I love the idea. You know? Yeah, I love the idea of bringing some, life into space. Everyone loved it when we had the little, the food planters and the rotating things. So this just adds another layer. So you can almost like have a space station that feels like a jungle inside, like this. It feels very sort of natural, even though it has that industrial combination with it.
Yeah, as we looked at different blocks, we wanted to make sure that like the trade stations felt like natural places, and they had cool things in them. And the trees were something that we even talked about back in Apex Survival, going, okay, what can we fit in the update? What we manage? And when it came to economy, we were like, we got to pull that out. We got to make this happen this time. And I think it makes a huge difference in the interiors of a ship that you use them in, or a station. It makes it feel completely different. So hopefully you guys enjoy those. I saw a lot of hype for it too.
A ton of hype. And I know there's pirate stations have been expanded to better reflect the faction. And let me just see here. We talked about trade stations selling hydrogens. We touched on this as well.
Do you know what I did come across when I was playing as well? It was like a distress call or something, and I flew over there, and there was a pirate ship hidden in wreckage that came alive suddenly and attacked me. And I was like, "Whoa, this is real." I was actually scared for a moment. I didn't know what to do and react. So we ended up having a shootout. But that's it. It's just the layers of all these little bits that have been added over time.
And I think that's another one, just for players as well. There's going to be so much of them diving into the game today that we're not gonna. It wasn't necessarily in the trailer, or we haven't talked about it yet, because it's best to get. A lot of these, the first reaction is always the most special when you experience a station you've never seen before, or a scenario, like a situation, let's say, that you've never kind of come across. And even when you've done it once, there's always different ways to approach that challenge. But I'm really we're all looking forward to seeing the kind of feedback from you guys experiencing these new builds.
And what I also wanted to add to there is the storytelling of some of these stations.
Yeah.
Like, I came across a station and there was an engineer who was trapped in a half-closed airlock door, and it was like, right, this guy tried to escape. What had he tried to escape from? And then you bust the door open, you head inside. The top of the place has been destroyed. And it's the storytelling of that little station that just immerses you in it. The red lights are flashing. Something's gone wrong. Of course, you find the data pad. You find the information. And for that little 20-minute encounter you have at that station, you just feel like you're in this mini scenario where something really happened to these engineers.
Totally, that's the magic of Ergath, I think. And that's what we've been striving for since Automatons, that we want the universe to feel more reactive and responsive and feel alive.
Amazing. Let me just see. I was just out for just a second there. Okay, so next up we have ship prefabs and station sales. But guys, again, if you feel like we've already covered this in enough detail before, we can move on. Obviously, the blog post covers everything in very specific detail. But in our conversations here, we've covered a lot of this. But let me know if there's anything specific you guys would like to add, important to note about station sales, ship prefabs.
I think the only other thing is sort of that last point on there is that they can be totally ready to use. So if you're like, I want to go fight the Factorum, but like you don't have anything quite ready, you can buy a ship and go fight. Or if you need a hauler that's capable of moving those big cargo containers for the mission, like you can also buy them this way. So whether you're looking for something to customize or something that's ready to go, the ship market is a fantastic point to start.
I love that. I say just thinking about how much this is going to change or I say give you new ways to play this game. It's going to be nuts.
There's one thing we haven't mentioned though, because as we're scrolling down a little bit further, Joel, we're getting onto the animated characters as well now. I'm wondering if anyone's going to be able to steal these guys. Like what like because I'm thinking it. So other people must be thinking it. Can they be stolen, Ryan? Can someone?
So quite literally, the first meeting that we had saying, okay, I think this is time to tackle NPCs, right? We were all sitting there going, can we do it like tech wise? Like what are the caveats? And like the first thing that was brought up was, is this going to be a kidnapping simulator? And like the first comments on YouTube were the same thing. We're like, you guys are crazy. But yes, you could potentially, they have collisions. You could potentially nudge them out an airlock. You could potentially scoop them up. But I can't guarantee you that they're going to cooperate and stay with you forever. I don't think that's necessarily going to go to plan. But yeah, they're an interesting, like we said, they're very simple. They're kind of like animated characters. So they won't do too much. But if you really want to go try to push one at an airlock, you're more than welcome to try.
Because I can see the request already. People are going to want a spawner for these, for their own stations, to bring their own places alive as well in the future. Yeah. But they are like just looking into a station when you fly by and you see a person walk past and randomly wave at you, and now you're like, whoa, what's going on here? But my first encounter with them was incredible. I walked through the airlock and the NPC guy just happened to come and wave at me. And like, can you tell us a little bit about that? Like, what do they know that the player's there, or how? Yeah.
So they are generating like a nav mesh for the station. They're able to navigate any of the areas that they spawn into, which is probably why you saw maybe something spawn somewhere else. We've set them up so like there might be a bartender behind the bar. Like so they're able to navigate their own little area. They're very simplistic, but they're able to do that. They're able to recognize where you are. They're able to recognize blocks in the area and point to them and guide you towards stuff. But they're super baseline. They're not anything to be like this is the most revolutionary. But I also think for space engineers, it's a pretty big deal, because I think many of us, including ourselves in the production call when we first talked about it, saying can we do this, like nobody ever thought SE1 would get NPCs, right? And so that was what made April 1st even better, when we kind of teased them to be like, no, this is real, this isn't real.
Yep.
But it's a big deal even to have these small moments, because it doesn't take a lot to add that much life, and you don't have to change a lot to change everything. I think it's one of those things where it's really a big deal. It's a big deal.
Well, that's what I want to see, guys. If you capture one, I want some pictures going up on the Discord or on the social media. I want to see
show us your brig.
Yeah. How far did you get them? How far did you take them? And what are you using them for now? If I see one towing a cart or something around, we'll see. This is going to be exciting for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, we're actually coming a little. Yeah, now I'm scrolling on to this. I mean, this is just you have a GIF here of it, and you guys saw it in the trailer. And very shortly, as you're playing the game, you will see these animated characters, and it does make such a difference. It's like, whoa. Well, you know, when I first experienced it, it was like, even though I knew what I was going to expect, it still kind of threw me off. And I was like, well, hello there. Hello there.
Yeah, it was hard to explain it when we were doing the April Fool's teaser. It was hard to show that they weren't just players that we put in or use the replay tool. So that's why we stuck on the screen at the end like this is offline mode, because there was, there's no one else in that game but them NPCs, and they are creepy to a degree, because like I followed one and then he went into a toilet and sat down, and then I just felt a bit strange, so I quickly walked off. But yeah, they do some great things. I just like them when they're just chilling. They're just enjoying the station life.
I think it may. I don't want to jump too far ahead, but can you scroll down to the what's coming next part of the blog at the very bottom? I think this is a good spot to maybe jump ahead for a second.
Okay, hold on. Maybe we need to take a pause on that one and just recover some of these blocks and little bits in between, because there's quite a bit we'd miss, wouldn't we, if we went too fast.
Okay. We'll keep everyone on edge there. We'll keep them pending for that. But I was just going to say, I have definitely walked in by accident in a few toilets. I'm like, oh, sorry. Didn't know you were in there, And it's just like, sorry about that. So now, we're coming on to still part of the free update, guys. I know there's going to be a lot of people excited about this. Structural blocks. They are big, and they are going to be super useful. So there's, I don't, it's not, the SCD is a bit further down, but I believe it's 6 variants, I think. There's 3 like columns and then 2 platforms and then like a corner platform as well.
Now, I'll say, if people are complaining about things not looking reinforced anymore after they've got these, because like the biggest thing is you have a big overhang base and there's no reinforcement underneath. Get these stuck in there. These are beautiful reinforcements. They really feel like they're holding the weight of a station or, you know, or a pillar or whatever part, especially if you're adding them to your ships as well. They look like they could be a great support part for a wing or whatnot, you know, on a larger grid like that. So anything to add on that, Ryan, for these structural blocks?
No, I mean, that's really what we were looking for, is to make the stations feel big and robust and have like strong supports when they're mounted on whether like a station or whatever, and like really a great tool for players. Like I've already seen comments about people talking about making really cool bridges, and like I cannot wait to see what people do with these things. But that was our goal, was to give stations a more robust support system and be able to lay out big foundations for grids to be able to land on, also without consuming like a huge amount of PCU. Like they're large blocks, large form factors with low PCU, which I think will lend itself really well to building big stations.
And I haven't had a chance to stick a welder on these guys. Are they actually quite strong in terms of components?
Yeah. Yeah, I think they're like a little bit less than what the armor equivalent would be for the area, but for one big space, they're pretty durable.
PCU
they can take
well,
a ship
right?
landing on them for sure. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, they're only 1 PCU. The landing platform obviously is a connector, so it's got more. But yeah, 1 PCU for the default big slabs.
That's also going to help. And it's you know, it's a kind of indirect help towards improving performance as well. If you have some massive platforms, and you know, rather than having tons of armor now, it's going to reduce that quite a lot. That's really cool. And when you get in game, like I won't say the term of what players have been asking for, but it's kind of in that direction. There's a certain category. Ryan knows what I'm talking about. There's 2 letters in it, 2 letters, but it's been kind of something that people have been asking about. We had a whole stream talking about it, I think, when we did like a showcase stream like last year, and there was a mod that did that. And yeah, I feel like this is kind of like that, to be honest. These platforms are massive. Right. What is it? Is it 5x5? The
5x5.
5x5. Yeah, it's huge. So, safe zone improvements, Ryan.
Yeah, so I mean, there's been a handful of changes. The first is that power has been reduced for safe zones. Those have been rebalanced, so you won't need quite as much uranium to power them indefinitely. So if you have a smaller faction, you can kind of support yourself. You can obviously still scale the power with the size of the zone. And then we also removed the option for floating objects, because floating objects come and go, things pop in and out, and we didn't want them like getting jettisoned from the safe zone or causing issues. So we made some improvements to remove those from the watch list, so it's less to count and watch playing around. And then we also did a couple changes to also support, like if someone throws a big floating object or something into your zone to try to knock something out or do something malicious, like we tried our best to kind of touch that aspect and make sure that it was a little bit better. So it's in general just a lot of improvements, but I think that power one is a really big deal.
No, it is. It is definitely. Hopefully, encourage more people using them as well. So we have some. Oh, go ahead, Aaron.
No, I was going to say that this would probably be the next. You're scrolling right onto it. And I was trying to speed us up a little bit as well.
Oh,
at the same
sorry,
time, because I know we've got to make certain time marks for this one, and we're right on time at the moment. So, additional improvements to joysticks and controllers.
Yeah, we talked about this at Core Systems, that we got the joystick support, and to go along with that, we now have joystick customization, so you can customize the key bindings. And then on top of that, as it translates right over, because a joystick is technically a controller, if you're on console or playing with a controller, you can now customize your controller key binds or button binds. So that's like a huge deal for all of our console friends for sure.
Perfect. And we're also offering support for dance mats as well.
Oh.
So, no, we're not. We're not.
I would love to see a video of someone trying that.
Right.
Look at this beautiful ship as well. Look at that. It's beautiful on a little mission here. Look at that. Is that another one? I'm assuming that's another one of Aragath's beauties there. Look at that.
Absolutely.
I love
that's available
that.
for
Look
purchase. Yeah,
Remember, that
it's
is
available
the
for purchase
news.
at trade stations.
Now you
The
can get it.
newsletter cockpit. That is the newsletter cockpit. So if you want access to that very tasty cockpit, then make sure you subscribe to that newsletter.
It's my favorite cockpit, no doubt. And then we have a little surprise here, which Marek did mention: a gift to Space Engineers 2 players on Steam only, of course, for now, because of obvious reasons. But a special package has arrived from the mystery place called the Almagest system. So you guys can now find, if you own in your Steam library, you have Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2, you will find this plushie in the game. Little Easter egg there. Small reminder, I love that even across distant systems, engineers are never too far apart.
It's nice because it gives a friend to the other engineer, because the other engineer was a little bit lonely. I'm not going to lie. Like the spider one was lovely, the Saboid one, but this is now you've got a friend for your other engineer.
There you go. Okay, great. So that was the plushie, and now we have free DLC content. We always try and do at least a few of these every update, and this time Deco Pack 2 and Apex Survival have been selected. We have the small grid freight, which is so this is basically the now on small grid is the deal with these blocks, right? That's right.
Yeah, it's a port from large grid to small grid.
There we go. But players love small grid blocks. I mean, I know there's people out there who would have every single large grid block on small grid. It's,
doesn't like storage, eh? We all love a box.
Right, and with economy, it felt really natural to go, okay, we need storage solutions,
Right.
and to port these to small grid was total no-brainer. Yeah.
And in that kind of line, we also have the small grid storage bin as well there. Very nice looking block. Also for small grid. So next up, Aaron, I'm going to blast through this, all right? We'll try and do faster than ever, okay? We're going to...
We're not doing bad on time. We're not doing bad on time. We can just pace ourselves at the steady rate we're going through them now. We're doing well.
Copy that. So, over 40 new blocks for Vivariums, billboard LCDs, bulk car containers, floor plan signs, angled doors, narrow viewpoints, and ports, and a reimagined safe zone generator. So, here is the image. We saw lovely blocks. So, Vivariums, 4 different blocks. There is, I would say, there's 2 main variants, and then 2 kind of corner variants of those, which... Oh, no, one is a flat, like a wall variant, right? On the thin one. There's like a... That's correct. No, they're both... There's a corner variant and then like a full glass variant. But very, very nice blocks. And the big one is massive, Ryan. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah. 3x3x3. It's a big boy.
Big boy. So beautiful blocks. More greenery for your builds, guys. You know, we've had some in the past. I think the aquariums added a lot. And, you know, it's great to see these kind of blocks, wherever not all being just metal. Right, so this is very, very nice blocks. I think they can be the centerpiece of many rooms now. We also have the billboard LCD. Now these have 3 different screens. It's kind of like triple screens around the outside of this column. And there's also a flat variant as well, but super funky because a lot of things in the Space Engineers are quite square and angular. So it's always nice to get more rounded blocks, I'd say, just to kind of break up some of the shapes there. So very, very nice. I'm not sure if you have anything you wanted to add about the billboards here, Ryan.
I mean, we really just wanted to make sure that, like, if you're making a player-made store, you have some good solutions to, like, throw some advertisements up or do whatever you're doing. And then we also wanted to make something that was eye-catching for, like, our NPC station. So when you go tap on it, you know, you can visibly see from far away, like, oh, that's one I can go interact with and get a new GPS point. So these are just, like, pretty much great for anything that you want to use them for. We've already seen, like, little bits of, like, trying to make them into, like, street signs and stuff internally. So, like, there's some cool uses for them outside of advertisements, obviously, but it's just a cool little block.
I am curious though with this one, do these support the same feature as the trade station? So if a player puts a GPS on them, can they tap them, or is that just strictly for the trade stations?
That's just for trade stations, but obviously if you were to make your own, you can put the GPS point or whatever on it. You can put any content you'd like. So
perfect.
I love these. Really nicely done. Now, maybe my favorite. Oh, it's tough. It's always hard to pick a favorite with these updates, but the bulk car container. These are absolutely massive. They're basically 2 large cargoes stuck together. Heavy duty car container designed for hauling large volumes of materials. And the 3 variants, just different textures on the side, which is useful because they also, you know, know players are genius when it comes to using these blocks for other purposes, you know. So they also kind of double up as wall tech, you know, new walls, I guess, for your ships and stations.
Ooh,
Look at
irrigation.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, we really wanted some kind of like shipping container kind of vibes, and it's a humongous shipping container. But a lot of the blocks in this update, we were like, okay, we're going big. Whether it's a huge planter thing or it's a bunch of structural blocks, and we're like, okay, you know what? Throw a cargo container in there too. Like, let's go really big. And so we decided to try to do the 3 variants, give it that texture. So if you're building a really big freighter that has like that bulk shipping container kind of feel, you can put them all over and have aesthetically very different points on your ship. So they're just very, very cool. They're basically 2 cargo containers in one, a little bit less volume than putting 2 side by side, but still a pretty solid choice.
Yeah, I think I was looking at it. It's like, well, with the setting I was on, I think it was like the big is like 9, 10, and then the smaller ones.
Yeah,
like
it's
4, 6,
just shy. Like,
yeah,
I think it's maybe like 40,000 liters less. It's
that
not a
sounds
huge
about right.
dip, but
yeah, it's about 40,000 less than if you had 2 of the standard large as well.
Right,
That's also from a balance point of view too, guys. So floor plan signs, 21 to be precise. So these look very nice. Now I know, of course, many players will create their own using LCDs, but this gives something ready to go and with a different kind of art style as well here. So
this is great. These are actually great because the amount of time people get lost inside their ship, and now they can actually just like, because the thing is, you just want a plug and play solution for this, and this is exactly what this is. Because yes, you could name all the signs and write them yourself, but this you just go right, stick it on there, right? Okay, it's that. I know which way I'm going. So this is a lovely, simple, straightforward solution, and these will be used pretty much over, I think, everyone's stations and ships. It's just a beautiful block, and it shows you exactly what's in that area before you get to it when you head into the cafeteria by mistake.
Yeah, and it mounts so well to like doors and other surfaces. It's like as opposed to the other signs, which have to be like wall mounted specifically. These are really great for just like placing above or navigating. And there's some really fun like sort of role play lore ones in there, like cryogenics, and you know, there's just a lot of options, which I think is going to lend itself to some fun builds for sure.
And I think as well, like the team really thought to think of the main rooms as there's, you know, the common things you guys would have: server room, farm, laboratory, but as always with feedback, if you guys feel like there's some key ones missing, typical spaceship rooms that have been left out, please do let it be known, because I think I would imagine that if it comes to adding a few in the future potentially, this would be a generally wouldn't be too hard of a lift, I would say. Would that be fair, Ryan?
Right.
So dive in, guys, again, and have a look. There is a lot. I mean, I couldn't think of any off the top of my head right now, but there's no like I know we don't have like a casino or anything like that on there yet, or disco yet, but
Economy 3, the casino update. You know, we'll see.
So there might be some that you feel like you need to get. So let us know. Now, I said about the cargo containers being my favorite, but this might be my favorite. That is my favorite. The angled doors. Look at these. So there's a couple of variants, and they're kind of the same shape, but the difference is where the actual opening is. So one kind of has it on like the longest, how to describe it? Maybe you can help me out here, Ryan.
Yeah, like one is like tall and one is like long. Like, so
you can either like walk into it or like fly up into it, if that makes sense. But the mechanism is the same and the shape of it's the same. But these are, I mean, we have so many doors in this game, but this is like no door we've seen before.
This is the perfect sort of APC or like dropship door, isn't it? Because it's big, it's accessible, and the angle works in with the design of the ship. That's just fantastic. I'm gonna use this on so many builds.
Yeah, I mean, with this block and the next set, like, it's clear that we were trying to get like something that's going to flow really well with what you're building, and not just have like stuck out cube, right? So they're really just like sleek when you're getting into designing your ship. That if it's something that's very aerodynamic, you want a drop bay door, however you're going to use them. But we tried to make sure that there was options for like however you're going to orient it, it's going to work for you. So
yeah, and leading into that, another set that I think is going to be I know a lot of people might have to rebuild their ships a little bit. We have the narrow viewport set. Now look at these. Gives you visibility. It's always nice to have windows on a ship. I almost said windows. For some reason it came out. When you think of SE at the beginning, we just had these big panes of glass, like full block size, which are still useful depending on the build. There's plenty of people. These are plenty use cases. And then we've kind of gone from there to have these more like viewports, but still sometimes on some of these ships where you don't really want to expose, too much glass, right? It feels like we've got smaller and smaller windows now, which I think is, power to the players, right? And these are amazing. Like when you're walking through a corridor, you can look out, oh, there's space out there, but you feel secure. It feels like no one's going to get me in here, So very, very nice collection of viewport blocks.
And in these viewports, can you explain a little bit of the composition as well, Ryan? Like they are stronger, of course, than just a window.
Yeah, it's almost like a reinforced small viewport. Like we were kind of looking at portholes and stuff as inspiration. Like how would that fit and still be flush with the armor? So it's a little more subtle than like a full window. But yeah, that's kind of how I look at them. Like they're a reinforced version of a window because it's just a small slit with a lot of like steel between it, right? So it's almost like an armor with a window.
Oh wow! So we also have safe zone type 2s. Now this is, in terms of having more animated blocks, this is obviously something I'll just speak. Obviously at SE2 is always trying to have a lot of animated blocks, but SE1 has also received more and more animated blocks over the years, and this is another one for the collection, and it does look fantastic. Very, very nice indeed. So
we love to make it rotate, don't we? We love rotation. Rotation. We love the rotation. Yes.
Yes, sir.
More rotation, please.
This seems like a natural one to have the spin. Yeah. Like it was almost like if we're gonna do something like this, like it's gotta spin, right? We gotta strip it out and make it spin.
Has it got rotation in one way? Yes. Do we need rotation in two ways? Yes, let's do it. Yes. Let's make it rotate. They love it. Everyone loves some rotation. As soon people walk into a room and it'll just be like a wind chimes. Everything will rotate in there.
And that actually brings us to the end, guys, of the blocks and the features of this update. Now, I will just quickly ask you guys, while we move on to the next section, what is your favorite part of this update? It's okay if you say don't know yet, because I understand a lot of this, you got to actually dive in. Like you see the mission items here, which I didn't show on the blog post, but they're on this screen here. So you got the mission items as well. But let us know, guys. Is it the service terminal? Is it the new contracts? Is it the NPCs? Or is it one of these, tasty blocks? I always love asking this question because I can never answer it. It's just I like to see what the community, if they can be more decisive than me.
We've got space trees.
Doors,
cargo blocks, service and contracts. There's so much, isn't there? There's so much good stuff.
It's a big one.
But we can. This is probably the time wwhere we can actually circle back after we've had a few more comments from the viewers as well. Is to your point before about what's next, Ryan.
Well, I think. I don't know if you want to read this, however you want to go.
Yeah,
I think there's some big hints as to what we're thinking and how we're feeling for sure.
So let's go on to it then. Our next update, it's 202. I'm so used to saying 207, 208, 209, 210. That sounds so weird. It's been, honestly, if you think about it, it's been like years of saying 201, 203, 204. Now it's 210. So our next update, 210, will be a custodian update focused on bug fixes, system improvements, and overall game stability, which I know you guys will appreciate. We want to keep improving the foundations of Space Engineers and make the whole experience smoother, more reliable, and easier to enjoy. And yes, we will still try to sneak in some shiny new decorative blocks as well. There are rumors that the Factorum may be hiding more technology no one has seen yet. And then, so after 210, you can expect another major update later this year. You may remember that we promised you another Warfare edition. Our research and experiments around character pathfinding are not over. So, I don't know what more you can say to that section, Ryan. That is the end of the section, but maybe I covered it.
Are the snipers in position?
Yeah. All right, get it. Right.
Like obviously, like with this update being so big, and we see lots of voices and lots of opinions, especially on services and everything else, we wanted to make sure that we continue to do bug fixes and tweaks, and 210 will be like, hopefully we'll be here sooner than we have been, right? It's been a month since you've seen me, and I hope to share more with you soon. So if this is kind of the moment that as you play, as you see things that you might want changed or added to the services terminal, or things that you would like to see in economy that are adjusted, 210 is going to be a great spot to do that as we adjust things and do a big bug fix pass. And then obviously that little bit at the end is a huge hint as to where we're looking to go, and we have lots of ideas. I think it's going to be a really great, like Americ said, We have 3 updates this year. This is just number 1. So we've got a lot coming in the end half of the year that will be really exciting, I think. So.
Ayan is watching. Ayan's sniper's in position.
Oh no!
Watch out. So, and that really is the end of the blog post there. We made it to the end, guys. Incredible. So
we're actually perfectly on time. We're actually 5 minutes. We're actually 5 minutes ahead of schedule. So that
I'll be honest.
perfectly done.
I'll be honest, Aaron. I went for a little quicker than comfortable. I had to force myself.
Yeah,
but,
I know. When you see that rotation, you need to spend about at least 20 minutes. Watching all that rotation going on there. But what we'll say, just as a final little touch on this before we switch things up, and I'm going to head on out of here, and we're going to have Ludmilla on here. We'll go into a bit more detail about her in a moment. But just a massive thank you for the team and the collaboration, the Space Engineers wanting to get this together. There's been so many meetings where they're discussing what's the next step, what's going to happen, how it's going to develop, and really just listening to your feedback. So just a massive thank you to all them there. Are we ready to do the transfer? And I'll pop away.
Yes, we will say goodbye. Wait, so Aaron, are you coming back?
I can come back. I can come back at the end and do the little outro, but for the moment, I'm going to disappear.
Okay, perfect.
Right,
Okay.
I'm in the airlock. All right.
Let me just kick him out of the airlock. Just this. Oh, I said. All right, hold on. All right. Okay. Now, let me do this. Hold on. Receiving word that the next guest is flying towards the airlock.
Oh, it's a bit cold out here.
Let me see. I'm gonna do it. Hold on. Okay, here it is. We are welcoming for the first time to... Oh, I almost replaced Ryan for a second there. Almost replaced the wrong person. We are bringing in Ludmilla. Welcome, Ludmilla. Can you hear us and see us?
Yes, I can. Hello.
Welcome to a Space Engineers live stream. How exciting.
Oh, it's very exciting. Finally.
Would you like to introduce yourself to the community and your role at Keen Software House?
Yes, so I'm Ludmilla. Some people inside Keen know me as Lucy, but Ludmilla is my name. I'm a head of QA department, and I'm responsible for bugs on Space Engineers 1 and fixing them. And I'm also helping out Aaron with a little bit of community stuff, doing our official servers and all the work for them.
That's all important things. That is for sure. Like, this is, you could argue it's tough. It's all kind of equal, honestly. It all needs to come together to things to go smoothly. But honestly, I would just like to say thank you for your incredible work, not just for this update, Ludmilla, but for updates now. How long has it been now, Ludmilla? How long have you been with Keen? I've lost track. I
think 2.5 years. And it's been quite a ride.
Yeah, I was about to say, it always is.
Yeah. I think my first big update was Signal, when we were just preparing for some big things, and now it's already Economy 2.
I think it's also worth noting, like, I think it's important, at least for our team and for everybody to know, that, like, we all love Space Engineers, and Lucy is one of those people that has a huge amount of hours in the game. We play the game, we enjoy the game, we love it, and I think that passion translates right into her work. Like, she's always making sure stuff is working and that we're pushing things the right direction.
Yeah, but it wouldn't be possible, of course, without my team, because I have a fantastic team of absolutely dedicated people who... Some of them were the company much longer than I was, and some of them, I think, might even know time before planets. Not sure. I often hear such things, and it's they who are always in trenches, investigating all those bugs, problems, or giving feedbacks to design team. Because, of course, QA is not only about bugs. Sometimes it's about feedback to Ryan or Aragath.
I love that though, in the trenches. It very much is in the trenches, guys. I mean, as you guys can imagine, testing space engineers is no easy task. I think some games have it much easier. I'll put it that way. I wouldn't say every, because testing is always difficult, but I think it has to be up there in terms of complexity and edge cases and things that you can possibly test, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Because when you just start playing Space Engineers, you have already like learning curve when you need to understand how to move around, how to build things. You need to go sometimes learn how to use specific blocks. And then imagine that you, like a tester, you need to imagine all those cases that people would try, what they can do, those like quite crazy things sometimes. And
To say the least.
you get, yes, sometimes,
Right.
yeah, sometimes you get some cool blueprint and you can't even imagine that you would do something like that. So that's one of important things. And for me, as Ryan mentioned, I played the game myself. I quite enjoy it, but I honestly not as good builder as, for example, as Aragath. So
Well,
for me,
that's
it's
hard
always-
competition.
Yes, it's incredibly hard competition, but I've had a great amount of people I've learned from, especially when I was playing on our official servers. So it's quite fun, right?
Amazing. So, and I'd say obviously for today, Ludmila, we're going to talk a little bit about bug fixing and polish in economy 2. So we'd love to hear how it went, the status of it right now. Of course, I expect there to be reports coming in the coming days here. Anything that major should be fixed in hot fixes. But yeah, we'd love to hear from your side, just about bug fixing specifically in this update and how it was to test it.
Yeah, so this update actually was quite complex because, as we were saying, one small change for designer is a big amount of work for tester. When you need to make checklists of different maps of how things connect to each other, think about possible edge cases, because players do very different things, and something can cause crashes. I just remember when we were testing NPCs, one of the guys reported, "Oh, game is crashing because I put myself as a wolf somewhere like a specific part on the map." And this was like, okay, how much is it possible that someone will do this? And we need to sort through those things and try to get them done. And of course, catching edge cases, for example, these contracts. We were testing new contracts with grids, and there was one moment when suddenly player starts a contract and grid starts falling and disappears, or it just suddenly appears somewhere on the ground. And we found out that in some specific cases, a grid would all of a sudden spawn a little bit in the gravities. It was quite funny to test it, and at the same time very responsible. And I can imagine that our players will find something else for us, which will be even more fun.
We've sometimes, just across the history of Space Engineers, we've sometimes released some of these like quirky bugs, to say the least. And it would be interesting, I think, in the future for players, especially once they've been fixed. You can say, "Hey, this was this crazy bug that was going on, but don't worry, it's fixed now." But I think you guys must have folders full of recordings of crazy things that never made it, thankfully, to actually the live build. But I'm sure some players in the community will be curious to see some of the stuff that maybe was stopped from reaching them.
Yeah. I hope I'm not saying anything obscene, but I remember when Life of Our Dear NPCs just started. That was quite fun because they were following you everywhere. They were like, you felt like you're some kind of a person who's followed by the police, And I know it's funny, but at the same time, it would get annoying this time, even though very easy first time it's funny. So we would we needed to make sure that it's reported and fixed. So yeah, this is one of those.
Yeah, there was definitely a point there where like you'd walk into a trade station like a celebrity, dude. It was crazy. They were all over you.
Oh man.
Yeah, someone said the word creepy, I think.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so there's that. But yeah, it's one of the fun bugs. Let's put it this way.
And I guess just on that, I think we have just a few more questions just to ask you while we have you, Ludmilla. And that one would be, what kind of issues are the hardest to track?
So definitely those which don't have 100% reproduction rate. This means you're playing the game, something happened, and then whatever you do doesn't happen again. Those, of course, are the hardest. That's why when we are talking about bug reports, we are always asking our players to send us as much information as possible. And of course, another type would be when there are some racing conditions, meaning something in the game, two things happen at the same time, and something causes a crash, but another thing breaks. And those are also hard to reproduce because sometimes just in normal conditions you can't get this happen. It even reminds me about our contact update when we upgraded hardware on official servers, and they got faster because back then we changed CPU. And I remember crash started happening, which never happened before because some calculations were going too fast. So those would be the hardest.
Great. No, I think it's very interesting for players to hear about some of these things, because I know some bugs are fixed very quickly. Sometimes it takes a lot longer, and players can often ask like, this bug I've had now for some time, and to be honest, I think more often than not, it is recorded either by players or by the team internally. It's a matter of either first getting to it. And I think obviously you guys use a system of prioritizing certain bugs, but then again, sometimes it's really, really hard to figure out exactly what causes that. They might even be able to reproduce it sometimes, but it's like trying to reproduce it systematically, where it's like, if I do this, this happens. So we can fix that to stop that from happening. But that's not always the case. So I think that's, again, it's not something we haven't really talked about, QA on streams that much. We talk about it roughly. So it's really great though that, you join us today, Ludmilla. And I think talking about players, maybe you could talk a little bit about how players' reports help your team and help improve the game.
Well, quite a lot, because if you look at the change log, you can see how many things there marked with support fix tag, meaning all of them came actually from our support and they were reported by our players. And this was those issues, and getting them fixed is actually my sort of pride and joy, because I know that a lot of people are also shy to report the issues, and they're saying that, I don't want to report it because maybe it won't be fixed. But I always try to get them prioritized, because this means it happens to people, it's important for someone. So of course those mean a lot. So if something is not working for you, something is crashing, definitely report those. Of course, if you find exploit, please send them to email. We have support emails, we have a community email, so don't publish exploit in open, please.
Yeah, exploits are better rather than talk about them like, hey, by the way, in Discord, or talk about them on the somewhere where it's public. It's probably better those are reported privately. So in the meantime, people don't make use of that.
Yes. I'm giving you instructions, so be careful, because I think it was kind of my personal battle. Over the last 2 years, I found quite a lot of exploits, and we were slowly but surely fixing them.
And I think you kind of covered again just how players can report, but also the importance. So I think the other topic that we wanted to talk about a little bit today was just again improvements to stability, because we often get players. Now I think everyone actually loves new blocks and new features, but I know there are some players out there who, for them, the number one thing is that they want is, you know, better performance and more stability, and that is there. Like for them, that is the most important thing. So I know that's something that we're always working on. So I would love to hear from your side, you know, our continuation of improving stability in Space Engineers.
Yeah, here it comes to finding specific blocks or grids which are causing performance issues. And for example, if there is some grid which is causing drop of sim speed, our technical lead is always happy to get a ticket with those, and he will look into it and let me know if it's possible to fix or not. Some things are of course harder to fix than others, especially when it comes to physics, to like if you get a grid which has 100 rotors and maybe like 200 of gravity generators, it might be a little bit of overkill, you know. So yeah, definitely if you find some grid which is causing you performance issues, send it our way. We're of course always trying to work on reducing amount of crashes on consoles, on PC, on Steam, and so on. So for us, the most important is to get the grid which is causing crash and to get the logs, of course, because all cases are very different. So yeah, that would be the case.
Amazing, thank you. And I guess the moving on a little bit from the QA side, but also talking about what players can expect in live environments of our official servers, because that's obviously another huge part of what you kind of oversee. So we'd love to hear, you know, more on our servers.
Yeah, so this update, we did again the big wipe, meaning that we started new saves. And of course, before wipe, maybe players knew that there were standard servers and more advanced. And we noticed that those servers which were advanced got more popular because they had solar radiation enabled, and we now made it like standard, so you can see solar radiation on all the servers right now. Then we of course enabled all the new features. We cleaned up some settings. So basically all the standard survival servers are what we think the players will enjoy the most. It's like recommended experience.
Yes.
And of course we also have a couple hardcore servers. I will give shout out to our Vasek, who I think told me that those would be popular. And those hardcore servers have everything on hard. Like solar radiation is just destroying you immediately. You're always hungry. Things are hard to get. So those are for those who want to experience the most of like suffering in addition to clang. Yeah, those indeed were popular, and it was a surprise for me because I wasn't expecting that people would like to be burned by solar radiation this much. This time we are actually experimenting again because I have like some pet projects of my own, and we decided to try a couple experimental servers. They are not running yet because it was kind of like a surprise, but I call them myself like community most wanted.
Yeah.
Because we had a few things that people were asking, and those are increasing distance and a little bit more slots.
Yeah.
And we decided to try, but those servers will definitely be marked like experimental, so they don't 100% guarantee stability.
Right.
Because those standard servers, they are like running in safe mode and they're considered as stable as possible. So we launching those 3 of those experimental servers, which you will be able to try out to see more slots, increasing distance, but also to guarantee stability, we will have a little bit more frequent wipes, meaning 1 time per 6 months. Even though I think Aaron wanted 3 months.
Oh.
So yeah, but yeah, I decided 6 to begin with.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 6 months is a long time. I mean, I know there's some engineers out there who have almost perpetual servers, and they just like, they clean them up and fix them. But I don't know, like, I think everyone has a kind of a preference for that. I think some people would also prefer a faster turnover, but 6 months is quite a while. So I mean, I guess that's somewhere again where you guys can let us know your feedback on that. I know Lumilla's always looking out for what players in the servers are saying and what their wishes are. But yeah, this is, I mean, as you say, this experimental server with the increased amount, this was the most wanted by the community, right? So it's great that you're listening in there.
Yeah, so it's like a little experiment, and I know that someone will be like starting them maybe now, and you can go and try out. This like config should be great for PvP, for shooting each other, or for shooting Factorum. So we'll see how it goes.
It's gonna be fun to watch for sure.
Yeah.
So I would ask Lamina if there's anything else like for this update, just in general, that you would love to talk about to the community, or just let them know any advice that you have for them as they jump into this update.
Yeah, I think take things slowly, learn new mechanics, try contracts, try services terminal, because I still think it's the best block. It's I, for example, myself the most enjoy repair feature. Because my parking or my amount of times I just break some blocks on my ship, it's just incredible. So take it easy and just have fun with everything. This is what I advise. And of course, report all the issues you encounter.
Yes.
Because
all the issues. Hope not too many.
How we say QA doesn't guarantee you to find all the bugs, but we try to reduce the amount of them, so as little as possible, but there still will be something left.
Yeah, it's a tough battle between the dev team, the QA team, and Clang and his minions.
Yeah, Clang especially.
Yes.
But I honestly think that Clang is already like part of the game. If Clang wasn't there, it maybe would be less fun.
It's a feature. There you go. Heard it from the QA team. Don't quote us on that.
Yes.
Amazing. I mean, so now, Lumilla, I think we'll start. Aaron, are you still there? I think Aaron he's listening in. I think he's in the void somewhere. Paging Aaron. Let me see. He might have stepped away for a second here. I'm just playing around a little bit. I'm on one of the economy stations with some NPC friends. Go ahead.
Yeah, I just realized I forgot something.
Okay.
Before Aaron joins, right? It's still here. So I just wanted also. Oh my God! I wanted to say thank you to our community team, to all the moderators and official server admins who are helping, especially today. Because I've got a lot of help with official servers, with setting them up, with preparing configs, with making sure everything is tested. We had someone who even helped me to translate message of the day to German language. So all these people, I don't want to name everyone because if I forget someone, it will be later not looking good. But yeah, without all those people, it wouldn't be this easy. Yeah, so thank you very much, everyone.
Massive shout out for sure. Amazing. And Aaron, I know I haven't got enough cam space, but I know we can hear you, my dude. And we missed dog time as well. I saw there was a very cute dog.
That was just me relaxing off camera.
No, the community didn't see the doggo, but no, it was very cute. But yeah, Aaron, I just wanted to ask yourself if there's anything else we wanted to cover with Lumilla, or if we wanted to start to approach the outro a little bit here today. What do you say, dude?
To be honest, you've covered everything that we wanted to do. You've covered the surprises that the community, in how they interact with, the Q&A team and how they get in the information to them. What would be nice as well, Ludmilla, to wrap it up on is how you'd best advise approaching, putting in a bug report. Like, what a few things could they do if you've not covered it already? Because I know we've touched on it. Like, if they were making dream bug reports for you, how would they be? What information would they contain? If you heard that.
Ludmilla?
Sorry, can you repeat
Yeah,
for a second?
Sorry, it's okay.
Sorry.
Yeah, so my question is, if the community are giving you a bug report, what is the best information that they can put in that bug report?
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah, sorry, I just for a second disconnected because I was at the same time reading a bug report.
See, working, multitasking. That's something that I can't do.
And
to manage it on the stream, but it's difficult. Props to you there.
Yes, and I mean, someone has to report all the crashes, so they're fixed.
That's true.
So the most important information is, of course, crash log or any log. If you have any logs, it's the best, so we can see what is actually happening because they are recording everything which is going on. Then, if you can, videos. If it's something happening in the game with you, just video of what's happening. Because sometimes when you make a text description, something can be missing. But if you send us video, we can see what you're actually doing if you forgot to write something down. If you can do video, of course, screenshots. And then description. I know some of you may want to write the very long one, but I advise to keep it short, but include everything which is important. For example, start a new world, paste the grid, etc. And a little trick, if you don't want your grid to be public, because of course some of you are sending us are required to send us blueprints so we can reproduce the issue. You can post it as hidden and nobody else will see it except us, because I know that some of you may be having concerns about blueprints.
Perfect. Is there anything else to add to that, or would that be the dream report?
I think that would, of course. When you don't send everything, you usually send a request for additional information. So if you send a bug report, definitely put correct email address in it and check back if you get some reply, because sometimes we can't reproduce issue and ask for additional information, and some players just never get back.
Perfect. And to answer the questions that are in the chat, you can do all this through the support site. And you can do this for both Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2 to really support the development. So that is pretty much it. We've got some outro things to say, Joel.
Sure.
Any touches from Ryan before the end?
I just want to say thank you to everybody. Like, I'm thrilled at the response right now that we're getting, and I hope this update is everything that you wanted. And if it's not, put those feedback and reports in, and we'll see what we can do. But I'm stoked. I cannot wait to watch you guys stream and play over the next couple days and just see how everything shapes out. I hope it's what you were looking for, and that you have a really great time playing with these new systems and these mechanics.
Okay, so just before the end, because we are packing the time, we have got time for a little Q&A. So as we're discussing these final points, get your questions in, and I'll try and grab some, and we'll just answer them. We're only going to do about five or so minutes of quick questions. So if there's some really important ones, get them in. And
what I was saying, Aaron, as well, I think the streams will continue. So obviously we didn't get much time to actually play the latest update today. But then again, the most important reason of these streams is really to get across information and give you guys an opportunity to talk with us as we're about to jump into Q&A, because a lot of the information, there's so much video, there's so much content out there, there's so much stuff in the blog post that covers all of the features in the game. And at the end of the day, just jumping in, you guys can see what's to offer. But just wanted to say, I'm just playing a little bit in the background and just showing some of the new blocks off and everything. But yeah, please take it away, dude.
Yeah, so if we can jump between, if we get both Twitch up and YouTube up, Joel, and we just have a flick between some of the points that are coming up as well.
Okay.
So we've just got double the eyes on things. So I've got a nice one as can they populate? These are probably for Ryan. Some of these. We'll see if there's any Ludmilla questions in there as well. Can they populate the grid sales list with custom selections of grids from the workshop?
To sell on stations?
Of course, yes.
Yeah. You can definitely mod this. You can make your own grids. You can if you just copy kind of the template that we've done with the existing stuff, you can definitely add your own grids in there. You can modify the existing ones however you want to play. It should be possible.
Perfect. Is anything from your end over there, Joel, that you've grabbed?
Ooh, so I will now look.
If there's not, don't worry. I've got some.
No, it's fine.
Well.
I'm just too busy playing.
Go
for it.
The next question is I do read all the hand signals. No one can see me. So the next question is, what's the best to do in terms of starting a new world? Would you advise them starting up a new world, Ryan?
Yeah, definitely. We wiped our servers for a reason. Like, if you want all of the new content with the new stations and everything, it's definitely safer to wipe. There are different elements that will update or not update depending on what's going on. Like if you have a world where there's trade stations already loaded in or whatever, those will not necessarily update. So a fresh wipe is definitely advised to get everything running exactly like it's intended to.
Okay, perfect.
Question I saw was about. Here we go. Yeah, John says, "Like other content being a foundation for future content, will these NPCs down the line be given more functionality?" So I'm not sure if there's anything we can say on that for now.
Wouldn't that be really cool?
Wouldn't that be nice? I mean, it
was pretty cool.
It definitely was there was more functionality or more the expansion on NPCs in the blog post, but it is a little early to say what that might look like. But I would say stay tuned, John. It's definitely heard loud and clear, and expected somewhat for sure. I think the team is definitely counting on that.
I think it's just going back to what we were saying before. Like, obviously, we have our eyes towards a future where Space Engineers looks really, really cool and has lots of cool systems, just like we've been doing for the last 10 updates, basically trying to push things forward. And like, we're really excited about what could happen, what could come from it. But a lot of that also ties right back into how you guys are playing with the game, what's cool for you, and what feedback you're giving. So like, we'll see how things shape up. But I'm very excited for the future.
Okay, I'm having to dig through some of the questions here. So the other important thing to say here is some people. So the Economy 2 is a DLC, but a large collection of it is free for you guys to play as well. So you will get all these baseline features for free. So don't worry about that. Check the pack on the Steam store, and it'll tell you exactly what you're getting as part of the DLC that you're paying for and what you're getting for free as well. So there's no confusion there. So we've got an additional question here as well. Is how does the storage save work? How does that work, Ryan?
So the grids are pulled completely out of the world and saved in a separate file on the server. So they won't be causing any performance impact on the actual save or doing anything in the game. They're completely isolated.
Perfect. That's what everyone wants, isn't it? Everyone wants better performance, and if you get them chunkier grids out of the world, then performance will increase. Have you got anything on your end, right, Joel? Sorry.
Well, also questions. I mean, I think this is probably for later, but people are also asking, can we have NPCs on our stations? I mean, not right now, but
right.
It's we hear you loud and clear, guys.
Yeah, if we really just look at it like I said, they're very simple, but it's a big deal, and it was technically a difficult thing for us to pull off. Like I said, we nobody ever really probably thought SE1 would have NPCs. So this is Yeah, right. I think we all would have sat here like 2 years ago, been like, "No way, that's not real." But we're here now, and so I think we can definitely look at ways that the community can use them, because with everything, the mod support and the APIs and everything that we can provide our community is just more power to the entire Space Engineers universe. And whatever you build, whatever you want to make, we want us to facilitate and support that. Right this second, no, but last update you couldn't customize your controller either. So
there you go.
We'll do little things.
Never
right?
say never, right?
Never, not with Space Engineers. You never.
Not with Space Engineers.
Suddenly you'll have planets. Suddenly you'll have NPCs on stations, and we'll see what's going on. So I'm excited about it again, and we'll see how things go. But don't count anything out for the future, for sure.
By the way, speaking about controllers, it's another thing which people were asking a lot, that we can customize controls.
Yes.
I think this one will be big for those who are using Xbox controllers or joysticks.
Yeah.
So, but if you come across any problems with those, definitely report. We'll fix those.
Okay, and we have got another question here for Ludmilla as well. What's the most number of bugs that you've had reported at one time that you've had to tackle? What's the highest number of bugs you've seen on that list?
Oh, it's hard to say right away. I mean,
God,
if I don't see any big reports in the first hour after a big update, it's already a good sign, you know.
Okay.
I think at some point we have maybe 40 submitted tickets, but what happens is that people start repeating those, and we need to merge them to understand what's going on.
Okay, and that's another good point, guys. Check on them other tickets as well and see if you're reporting the same thing.
Yes, and also sometimes happens that some bugs could be also caused by hardware and by your like Windows version or something like that.
Yeah.
Definitely check those.
Let's see then. Anything else?
Oh, there is a good question
Hang on.
here as well to Ryan. This will be: will service terminals work on stations only, or will they be available on ships?
They're available for both, so you can head out somewhere else and recall something remotely if you want to. They don't have to be static.
There you go. There's your answer. So you could technically spawn some new fighters in your hangar if you had them in storage.
Yeah.
There you
In
go.
fact, that was one of the biggest things I saw people talking about. I was like, I can't wait to make a carrier with this and have like, as you start sending things out, you can refill the bay and have stuff ready for people, which I think could lend itself to some really cool PvP scenarios and stuff. So we'll see what people make with it. But right now, yeah, you can. It's pretty free and open. And again, if there's like settings, like that's something you guys want, like throw something on the support site. We go through those regularly, and we're watching really attentively right now, specifically for the services terminal, to see like what do you guys need, especially for your communities and stuff. So if it's something you want, definitely let us know.
Now there is a topic that keeps bouncing up here, and it is about the 100k PCU on Xbox, and I know this is a hot topic. Is there anything we can say on it in terms of like maybe give them the reason why we changed it, why we've made adjustments there?
Okay, I can cover that if you'd like.
You say, well, I just wanted to see if Ryan had anything on the topic first, Ludmilla, if that's possible.
Okay, of course.
Well, I mean, my side is usually more gameplay stuff, and so like it's more of a technical problem, a more technical issue, like the hardware limitations more than anything. If like my stance is always, if I can give players more creativity and power, like we're going to give it to them. And I think that's one of the reasons why we added like for the gameplay for the services terminal to keep people being able to continue building. So yeah, it's more of a technical side, which I think Lucy could probably answer a little bit better.
Okay, of course. Over to you, Lucy.
Yeah, of course. So. Of course, the more PC you use, the more performance you are also using, meaning that you have more crashes, issues, and we were trying to tackle those. Because, of course, it's fun to play, especially on server, because when you have cross-platform server, you have all generations of console. You have PlayStation 5, PlayStation 4, Xbox One, more modern Xbox consoles, etc. And if you play on PlayStation 4 and someone appears next to you on a very big rate, it's very possible that this person won't crash because they have, let's say, PlayStation 4, and someone on a bit older console may have experienced crash, and we need to take care of all of them. So, of course, for stability, we need to do that. And don't forget that Space Engineers is it already 13 years or 14
this
years
year's 13, yeah.
13 years old this year. So, of course, we can't like make huge changes to the engine just to fix some of issues on older consoles. So
yeah, I would just add that like it's definitely it's always been a challenge, and I would say it's not something that the team would want to do in terms of restricting PCU. It's really, when it comes to like at least safe, stable mode, it's really at least about trying to like keep performance within a certain, or within a certain threshold, I guess, because it can be confusing if you're playing and the game starts, getting really unstable, and the game itself could be fully functional. See what I mean? Like, it's not like there's specific issues, but you're basically maxing out the capacity of a certain platform. So it's always been a case with PC from the very beginning. The mission is always to give as much performance as possible. Anyone who's played Space Engineers for the many years will know that performance has improved drastically. When you think about what you used to be able to have in the game, it used to be, you know, a couple ships ramming into each other, and now you can have, you know, huge servers with massive ships and complicated and scripts and everything. I mean, obviously, you know, some features and some sizes might vary on different platforms, depending if you're playing single player or, you know, on a dedicated server. But still, just the bottom line is, guys, is that we want to give as much power to the players. That's actually what Ryan said, I think. We want to give as much power to the players as possible, but it just has to be somewhat contained. And it's also important for when you're looking to, in terms of certification as well. Like, I won't go into that, but it's like, you know, that you have to ensure some baseline, you know, quality and stability.
I think that's a perfect answer. I think it's covered it from all perspectives there. So I hope you understand. You know, the team are not limiting you, just like we said, because
for the sake of it or anything.
We want you to have a great gameplay experience. And I think we'll do a final question, and then we'll wrap that Q&A up there. Have you seen anything that's really juicy? I've seen a few questions that are quite light and feature based. I'm just having a quick scroll through right now. See anything?
I do have one little thing I want to do if I can.
Sure.
Like my favorite, especially with Lucy here, my favorite fix of the update, which I think is it's kind of a small deal, but also a big deal, and it was requested by a lot of people. There is a mod on the workshop called, I think it's Seam Fix, and Seam Fix 2.0. It's made by a guy named Michael. And Michael submitted a bug report that said, I have a fix for the planet seams where, you know, basically a planet is actually a cube, and we have a cube map and it's mapped to a sphere. And the edges of those points are always a little bit off. Like, they're not quite right as you map the sphere to a cube. And he developed a great tool that the community uses for planet making. And he sent us a bug report and said, here's basically height map fixes in the mod. Like, dude is awesome. And so we incorporated that fix into the update this one. So like, I'm super excited because Seam Fix is like a great thing, and his work on that is a huge shout out to him for giving us those things and reporting it and submitting it to us. So yeah, that's, for me, that's a really great one that came with this update.
Yeah, absolutely. I also want to say that, again, it's an example of how you can impact the game. Just send us something serious. And it's another reason, by the way, those planets, why we needed to wipe servers, so everything updates properly and looks pretty. So
yeah, and I think I blanked out a second because I was playing the game too much. I was like, I'm going to add to this, and then I was flying around. You guys know I'm not the best pilot out there, so I was very
so we can go to the closing message if you want.
Yeah, sure.
To.
I was just going to say... no, it's gone out of here. You go ahead, Aaron.
Well, you were just saying how much you've been immersed within the economy update
that's
already.
Right.
So immersed, Joel is saying, yeah, come and pick up this DLC, support the team, and get stuck in with the development. And of course, you know, Space Engineers 2 is being developed as well. So if you're interested in the development process of that, check that out as well. Get yourself stuck into both games. Both games are coming along leaps and bounds. I mean, if we reverted the Space Engineers 1 back to the early stages of development, it would be almost unrecognizable. So come and join us for the journey of both of these games. So just a quick closing comment from myself, and we can pass the mic if we need to. Basically, Economy 2 is going to be a massive transformation in terms of features with the new service block, and as well as the additional blocks that we've added in here as well. So it's going to be incredible. So the systems now are more connected and dynamic than ever. So you're going to really be able to interact with these systems, have a play with them. But more importantly, it'll change up if you want to, how you play, and give you more additional options and how you can get stuck in. And remember, there is a free part of this DLC as well. It's not all paid for. That's pretty much it. Get the feedback in, get the bug reports in, come and join us for our Space Engineers 1 and 2 video competition surrounding mechanical blocks. Build your marvelous creations. Maybe you can even get a landing gear extracting out from one of them beautiful new doors. And I believe Joel's also brought up the end screen now, so you can see what's available for free on the left and what's part of the DLC on the right. So that is it. That's everything from me. Anything to add there, guys?
Why don't you go for it, Ryan? Anything from your side, man?
Thank you guys so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Like every day, I feel grateful that I get to work on this game and that we have people still supporting us after 13 years. So I can't wait to watch you guys play. Keep sending in your stuff. Like this is going to be a great week for me just to watch you guys
Every
engage
comment,
with
right,
this.
Ryan?
Every comment. I'm not even kidding. I immerse myself in how you guys are, and I want to make sure that what we're designing meets your needs. So like, stream it, share it. Like I'm in love with this game, and I can't wait to watch you guys enjoy it. So get out there and share it.
Ludmilla.
Yeah, I it's honestly very hard to add anything to what Ryan said. Just enjoy the experience, create things, create crazy things, surprise us, you know. It's always pleasant to be surprised and see how people weaponize easy things you wouldn't expect to weaponize. And yeah, just have a lot of fun and also enjoy experiences with your friends, and definitely invite your friends and play together.
I love it. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, I mean, I'd say you guys covered it beautifully. I think the whole team is going to be really focused on the reactions now, seeing the builds you create, the screenshots, the discussions in Discord and across socials, as well as all the amazing videos that have, you know, there was a ton of videos made leading up to this release, and I know in these coming days and weeks there's going to be some great stories and experiences from this amazing update to share. So definitely, please do, guys, share away. We'll be back with another stream soon, I have no doubt. And what I want to do is, as well, of course, we didn't have much time to play the game today, but as I said, I think that's not a terrible thing. I think we can definitely have more streams dedicated to exploring the new economy. Actually, after you guys have already dived in and experienced it kind of leak-free, I'd say. Experienced some of those things the first time. Yeah. Let's actually see a show of hands. How many people in the chat right now have already purchased the Economy 2-pack? 07's in the chat. Aaron's waving. You can't see Aaron, but he's waving. Aaron's got his Economy pack. Very good, very good. Let's see it. And yeah, amazing. I would like to thank Marek, Aaron, Ludmilla, and Ryan for joining us on this wonderful evening. Very exciting, and so much more to come for both Space Engineers 1 and Space Engineers 2. How can it get better, guys? How can it get better? It just never ends. The train never ends. Keep on trekking.
That was great. So what is the inspirational quote of the day to
Oh,
man,
Ooh, maybe chat can give me one. There's a lot of 07s though, guys. That's amazing support. Amazing. Let me think though. What rise?
Oh, that's the best.
I got nothing.
The chat's going crazy now because you said trains. That's the best, dude.
Oh,
train link.
no.
Don't let me. Oh, I also wanted to say again I mean, I think the team did, but huge shout out to the entire team. There's so many people and specific skills that are required to make an update like this get to this point, and every single one of them matters. So thank you guys so much. Shout out to the whole team. Very, very amazing, incredible work once again. I'm looking to see if anyone has a quote or something. Let me see.
Quote of the day.
Yeah,
you all know it.
You got one?
I don't know if I should say it.
No, I don't know about that.
What is the day today?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I can say it. It's a bit of a crossover, but I'll say it.
Yes.
So, thank you guys very much. We'll see you all very soon. Enjoy the update, and may the 4th be with you. Yes, that's right. Bye, guys. Bye. Oh.